happened to our house last night, Phoenix?
It got flooded, and the walls are gonna get teared down because there's water in them. Yay!
Yep. What do we do when bad stuff happens?
Tell other people to fix it. Stay at a hotel.
Oh my gosh. It's not what I was going to talk about today. All right, this is a very impromptu, candid video. I hope you can even hear me. These humidifiers are loud, but I'm standing here with my floors ripped out, humidifiers in the house because my house got flooded last night. There's gonna be over $100,000 in damage. And I just wanted to share and document this experience, and then also just talk about some of the reflections that I've had today as I have just processed all of this craziness. There's, you can see. So last night I was giving my daughter a bath, and so I just bought this house and I just moved in this summer. So what, 6-7 months ago. And when I bought the house, I knew it was an older home, but it was on 5.5 acres. And I just kept saying, you can always improve a house. They're not making more land. And so I've always wanted more property. I wanted to build my own mini homestead. And so I was really excited. And I learned as I got in, an older house has all kinds of things, all kinds of repairs. So this house has 4 bathrooms. And one of them, we call it the handicap bathroom because the previous owners must have needed a handicap tub. And so when I first bought the house, I thought, oh, it's kind of ugly. I'm just going to rip it out. Well, they paid almost like $20,000 for this tub. I was like, oh, I guess we're going to keep it. And we didn't use it for the first 4 months we lived here. And one day I was like, we might as well try this. Well, it has jets in it. And it was so fun. And my kids now call it the spa bath because it's actually really fun. And I'll go up, I can show a video, but the handicap tub has a door that locks, and then you fill it up. So that way, if somebody's handicapped, there's not a lip to walk in. So my daughter was taking a bath last night, and all of a sudden, I shut the door, I filled the tub, I know it was not leaking, and I filled it all the way up. I was in the bathroom the whole time, and I turned the water off once it was full. It's a big bathtub. If I were to guess, I don't know, 80 gallons, 100 gallons. We have 2 water heaters, so we can fill a big tub. And so my son has a big test today. He's in 6th grade, first junior high final. And so I went in the other room to get his flashcards ready so he could start studying for it. And I was gone maybe 2 minutes. And I heard, Mama, there's water leaking. I was like, what? And I came in, and there was, at the bottom of the tub, there is water coming out. And I was like, well, that's weird. But it was about as much as maybe a sink faucet would come out. So a decent amount, but not like a flood amount. So I stood there and I kind of leaned over to grab a towel from the cupboard, and all of a sudden it just went, and the whole thing just floodgates. I mean, tidal wave of water. And when something like that happens, you're not expecting that to happen. And I have this weird tick about me that when bad things happen, I laugh. I don't know why. I've always had it. And so I started laughing when my daughter's still in the tub, freezing now with bubbles all over. And she's like, Mama, stop laughing. And I don't know. It just happened so fast. So I threw the towel on the floor. I tried to take my foot because I could see all the water was going down the water vent. And I tried to take my foot and push it over the vent, but that didn't really help. And then water just flooded the hallway. My office was completely flooded. The kitchen, my rugs, the craft room. Everything, the stairs going down to the basement. So then I walked downstairs. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Every single light fixture, every single vent just had water dumping buckets out of it. So I quickly tried to grab trash cans. I dumped the trash on the floor and tried to put trash cans under the major water leaks. And then I had just bought a feed bucket. So then I grabbed my feed bucket for the big one. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I need a shop vac. So I live 5 minutes from Home Depot. So I hopped in the car really fast. Of course, like in hindsight, I'm like, Natalie, you kind of had a weird list, like set of priorities in the moment. But again, you're not like prepared for that. I drove to Home Depot. I got there at 9:04 and they close at 9. So I couldn't get a shop vac. And so I called my insurance agent, who also happens to be my dad, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And I sent him some of those videos, and he's like, oh my gosh, you need to get a disaster cleanup company out there like right now. So I called them. They got out here at like midnight. They were here till almost 1 a.m. And they had this little meter, and they tested the drywall, and they were like, yeah, this is going to be a major, major demolition. Basically every wall is drenched. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, what do you do? At that point you just are like, okay, here we go. I just moved into this house. I just put shiplap up in the entryway hallway. I just had the whole thing painted. Like, I got it, like, finally. I paid a handyman to come and like help me get stuff hung up. I got it the way I wanted. I felt like it was like my home. starting to come together. So I couldn't sleep for a while, and then I went to bed finally at like 2, and then woke up the next morning, normal, 6 o'clock, had to get the kids ready for school, do the morning drive and routine, drive the kids to school, get them ready, get them fed, came back and talked to the company, I was on the phone all morning with my insurance agent. We're looking at probably over $100,000 in damages. So anyways, I only share the story, one, just because I'm still like, what in the world just happened in my life? I mean, clearly I have not even showered today. I think this is makeup from 2 days old, 2 days ago, if I'm just being honest. But I wanted to share with you because I shared some of this on my Instagram stories, and I got so many responses. If you left me a message and I didn't reply, one, I'm sorry, and two, thank you. I just was overwhelmed today. But a lot of people said, Natalie, we've seen so many things happen. They're like, you have the worst luck, which I swear, I'm like, curse. My team, my employees, the other day they were like, Natalie, you need to sage your house because you're always hurting yourself or something's always happening. So my sister did. She works for me. She came over and saged the house. Clearly that did not help. And they're like, do we need to hire like an energy healer or bring a shaman over or something? You got some bad luck going on. But a lot of people commented and said, Natalie, how do you just like have such a resilient spirit when stuff like this happens? And I don't feel always like I do. I was overwhelmed at a lot of times today. I did not handle everything right. Actually, I snapped at my daughter this morning. That's not like me really ever. And I felt guilty. I missed a meeting today. I was late for a meeting. It was, I didn't handle things perfectly. And I don't really have, I don't have this like sage wisdom that I can share with you. The only thing I can share is, I probably should write a book someday. If I were to write my whole life story, I don't even know if people would believe it because it's so crazy. Like lots of trauma, lots of dysfunction, and just lots of stuff. And the one thing I just have realized over the years, I don't know why sometimes we get handed the cards that we get handed. Sometimes we create it. Oftentimes it's bad luck. And one thing that I've learned over the years is you can't, hold on, baby. Wanna say hi? Okay, we're gonna go to so I rented a hotel. We're gonna go to the hotel in a minute. We just forgot stuff.
It has a really good pool.
It does have a good pool.
Can we come now?
Yeah, let me just finish saying this and then I'll come, okay?
What do you say?
I'm talking about what we do when bad things happen.
We call somebody to fix it and go to a hotel.
No, that's not really what we do. Like inside our heads, what do we do to fix it,
We get like magical powers and just done.
I wish it was that easy. What I've realized over the years is that there's a lot of scenarios that you can't change. There's some that you can. There's behaviors that you can. There's past patterns and cycles that can be replaced over, through therapy and things like that. But oftentimes when things happen to you, you have two decisions. You can react negatively or you can respond, and not with toxic positivity necessarily, but just say, all right, are we going to be a problem finder or problem solver? I say that to my kids a lot, but it's true. And just realize, let's focus on what we can control and not dwell on the things that we can't. Do I want the house that I just moved into to be ripped up? Do I want to have to walk around on bare cement probably for the next 4 months? No. Did I want the house to get flooded yesterday? No. And instead of sitting here and saying, well, it could be worse, or here's the silver lining, I don't think that usually helps. What helps me typically is coming up with a game plan and saying, all right, I realize we're going to be stressed out if we try to stay here tonight. I'm not even 100% sure it's safe, so let's go get a hotel. For me, I like to think through worst case scenario. For whatever reason, it alleviates my fears. So, I called the insurance company. I was on the phone with them for a long time today. I made sure that I knew what my policy covered and what it didn't cover. I made sure that I took videos and pictures. Am I going to need necessarily all that stuff? Possibly not. But for me, when I'm prepared for worst case scenario, it helps me feel better. We got a visitor in our channel today. And then the last thing is I show myself grace, right? I could have very, very easily beat myself up for missing meetings today. I ordered Uber Eats for breakfast because I was so hungry and stressed. And I was like, I can't cook. Everything's a disaster. I'm going to order Uber Eats. Is that normally stuff that I eat? No. But I was like, I need to show myself some grace right now. It's kind of gross. Didn't even shower today. I kind of look like a hot mess, right? I'm filming a video that's going to go to the public with no makeup. And I don't care about wearing makeup or not, but not putting that pressure on myself to be perfect, right? And then focus on the stuff that actually matters. We got to Phoenix's first basketball practice today. She did so good. We rented a hotel. We were going to make the best of the situation, and
Get what we get. Don't counterfeit.
There you go. And I just think, we all go through stuff. Every single one of us. You watching this right now, me, Phoenix has and is going to. And I think when we allow ourselves just to dwell, it's okay. Just don't get me wrong. There was a moment today where I was like, why is this happening to me? And allow that for a little bit. But when you dwell in it, it's easy to get sucked into that. And it doesn't really give you that feeling of momentum, like you're making any forward progress or any positive changes. And so I try to focus on solutions. I try to come up with a game plan. I personally like to think through worst case scenario. You can say hi. By the way, welcome to my channel. This is real life. My kids are gonna pop in. You're gonna see animals in the background. You're gonna see chickens. You're gonna
hear the rooster.
You're gonna hear the rooster. And the show's gonna go on. Inevitably, bad things are gonna happen at times, and good things are gonna happen. And that's when we celebrate the good and we stick together through the bad. And that's the only way I know how to move forward. So with that being said, here's my very candid real life, imperfect lighting, probably imperfect sound. Hopefully you could hear me over those humidifiers. I'm going to share one funny moment of what happened today though. So let me tell a little backstory. In October, it was Halloween, and I was trying to find a last minute Halloween costume, and I went to the Halloween store. Everything was bought out, but they had one rock star wig that I bought, and I put it on. I was like, wigs are so fun. Why haven't I bought more of these in the past? So in a very spur of the moment impulse, I went on Amazon that night and bought 30 wigs. So an embarrassing but funny story is the disaster cleanup crew came out last night at midnight. They were like, is this room vacant? My bedroom. And I was like, yeah. And they walked in and I forgot. I forgot that I had all these wigs laid out. These were actually on the floor. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people are going to think I'm a weirdo that role plays. I'm like, no, they're just for Instagram reels and TikToks, and don't think I'm weird. Anyways, it was funnier in my head. I don't think it sounded that funny when I told it. But last little recap here. They're going to do demolition over the next 3 days. So they're going to take out the drywall, take out the carpet, take out the tile, take everything out so no mold spores can grow.
Mom, I didn't mean to.
That's right, babe. And then over the next 4 to 6 months is when the repair. Hair down. And then over the next 4 to 6 months is when we're going to have our repairs done. So wish me luck. Fingers crossed that the repairs don't take the full 6 months. But if they do, they do. And we will make it work. We'll figure it out. Okay, I'm going to go get these two to the hotel. We're going to go. We probably won't swim tonight because it's getting late. I got some work to do. I'm going to take a shower, finally. If you have ever had a flood or any kind of disaster, I'm curious what your experience was like. In fact, let me know in the comments if... I know, that's because they got drenched. Let me know in the comments if you have any advice or if you've gone through anything like that. If anything, just knowing I'm not alone. We have solidarity. We're in this together. Helps too. I just had to laugh. So I just came to get checked in. It's 10 o'clock at night. The hotel also had a flood.